It's July, the weather is warm, it's really hot here. We're playing outside and the sun is shining. And that means it's time to start thinking about those holiday gifts. So for those of us who like to create and craft gifts for our friends and family, especially for the holidays, that's something you gotta plan a little bit ahead. And I know in the past, I have been somebody who comes to October, sometimes even November, December, and I go, oh no, I forgot about all of these people that I was planning on making things for. So let's try and avoid that this year. That's why I put together a roundup of a number of different kind of gift knits that I think would be good things to start now for holiday gifts. Either get ahead of the game for larger projects, which there aren't too many bigger projects on this list, but mostly here are some smaller items like accessories, home things, little toys, knickknacks that aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, I have all of this wool on top of me while it's 100 degrees out. They're much smaller. Some of them use cotton yarn. Some of them you can kind of use whichever yarn you want to. So I feel like they are both good gift knits, but also good warm weather knitting friendly things. So let's dive into them. Now, first of all, this does not fall under the warm weather friendly knitting thing, but I think knitting up a like bulky sweater, especially something that has like a really clean line to it or is kind of a simple sweater, is a really great gift knit. Now, the reason I say like a bulky sweater, a bulky weight sweater, so I did the Franken sweater. I'll throw some pictures of it in here. This knit up in just a couple of weeks. I think you can have a lot of fun with stuff like this, like playing around with yarn, especially holding two yarns together. And also, like, it's a basic enough piece that I feel like a lot of people are going to, like, it's going to fit into a lot of different people's wardrobes. And you can really, like, pick the color for the individual person. Also, this is great because it does knit up faster. Like, if you are getting a little bit closer to the holidays and realizing, oh shoot, I better get that holiday planning done, you could knit this up, you know, if you realize in November you need a gift for somebody before the end of December. It's definitely not something to like wear this time of year, but people would really get a good use out of it. I do like a simple like stockinette for something that's fast to knit up, is like beginner friendly, but also for more experienced knitters, like doesn't require a whole lot of mental load. So I find those projects are really good to have like at least one of those kind of sitting around. So that's why I would suggest like consider doing, if you want to make a sweater for somebody, especially if you are worried about time or worried about doing something too intricate, picking a fairly basic pattern in a worsted or Aran weight is going to knit up at the speed that you want, and also probably be something that will fit into their wardrobe. And honestly, like, if you're knitting a sweater for somebody, they're probably going to absolutely love it. I would hope they do. If not, maybe don't make them another sweater again. I know there are a lot of people that like to make socks for people for gift knits. But I do feel like socks can sometimes be a little bit of a difficult thing because you really want to get the sizing right, and some people are very particular about their socks. However, slippers, I think, are a really nice gift knit. It's a little bit of a luxury type thing, like everybody needs socks. Everybody, you know, you can go out and easily buy socks, but slippers are something that a lot of people really enjoy, but maybe haven't invested in for themselves. So I think that to me often is something that I look at for gifts, are these things that they're really going to appreciate that they might not have gone out and gotten on their own. So I have a couple of different patterns. I will put all of these in a like Ravelry bundle and make sure it's linked down below. But the sailor slippers, I'm going to mention that specifically. I talked about those in my copyright video. There's also a crochet version. It's by a different name. Oh, I'm blanking on it. I'll put the name of it here. But also I grabbed a couple of other, the community slippers. I thought these looked really cute and kind of that like sock slipper-esque thing, but still low cut. And I really liked the idea of doing embroidery over top of it. Great way to, you know, you can make a bunch of those and then do the embroidery that is customized to the person. The other one I really liked were the woodland loafers. I like the look of a like loafer slipper, and I think you could even like, if you like sewed a sole onto them, they could even be like some of those like indoor outdoor slippers. But that like definitely, I feel like the woodland loafers really good for like the men in your life or people who like that like a little bit more masculine loafer style look versus just the slipper profile that like the sailor slipper and the community slipper has. While we're talking about feet, let's talk about a sock that doesn't go on your feet, it goes on the mantle. Stockings. I forgot the word for it for a moment. So I think stockings could make a really great gift. This is definitely one that I feel like you do need to work ahead of time, especially if you want to make like a set. I could see especially like a family that, you know, it's going to be their first Christmas with their first child, making them a set of stockings so that they have matching stockings for the whole little trio family, or more if they have, you know, twins or triplets. Like, you're gonna have to invest a little bit more time into this, but I think that like really great customized, again, something that people might not necessarily think to like go out and get, or if they are, they're just going to get something, they might get something just like grab whatever they find at the store. So having something that's really customized to them is going to mean a lot. And that's going to be something they'll pull out year after year and have that special memory of getting it for the first time and like the love and attention that went into it. So I've pulled the Holiday Doodle Stocking. So this uses the doodle decks to create, and I think they even in the Holiday Doodle it has some basic like shapes and Christmassy things. Great. Those doodle decks are really great to customize it to the individual person. I also really like the woodland stockings. There's, I think, at least 3 different sets with this, and they all have various animal shapes on them and other like woodland wintry motifs on them. I think color work is a really fun thing to do. Again, it's a stocking, so while it's going to be a little bit larger than a sock, it's not going to be huge. You're going to be carrying around a little bit more yarn since you're doing color work, but depending on what colors you choose and how intricate, it might just be 2 balls that are easy to kind of just have in a bag. So yeah, I think that still kind of fills in the like you're not having a sweater or a whole blanket sitting in your lap while you're knitting. While we're on like wearable accessories, I think fingerless mittens or mittens in general are really great gift knit. I really like the idea of fingerless mittens. You know, you can still use your phone, get to your keys and all that, but it keeps your hands warm. And especially as somebody who, like, my hands get super cold in the winter, I have sometimes worn fingerless mittens while I've been typing on a computer or working in an office. And I know the fingerless mitts that I have gifted to people, they have commented, like, I have worn these through, you know, more than just when I'm going outside. They're really great, I feel like, for people who are in maybe a little bit more warmer climates, that they don't need the full warmth of a, you know, mitten glove all of the time, or they're really going in and out and not staying outside for a long period of time. But also, if you're in a super, super cold climate, having especially like a fingering weight fingerless mitt and then being able to put like a snow glove over top of it might actually be really great. So I pulled a couple of different patterns to throw up into this collection. I really like the look of the ooey gooey mitts, and I also like that Andrea Maui has the fingerless mitts as well as just a regular covered mitt instructions in here. And then also I think the Old Salt mitts are again really cute. I like the little like anchovy fish aspect on that, and I think that both of these also could be good base patterns that you could even play around and do a little bit of your own color work here, you know, or even just use the ooey gooey mitts or the Old Salt mitts and not do color work, but just use it as the base to get the right stitches and decreases and all of that. I have done that before where I've taken a color work and done it without the color work, or I've added color work to it. It's a pretty easy thing to figure out for those maybe a little bit intermediate knitters. Hats are always great. I made a bunch of the color work hats using the doodle charts and used the base doodle hat last year for some family. Again, really great way to customize with that color work, to really pick something that speaks to that individual person or really goes with their wardrobe with the color choices that you pick. I also really like doing the like ear warmer or headbands. I put the 10 and twist because this pattern has very basic base pattern and then a whole bunch of different stitches to really add some variety. These are quick to knit up, so also really great to have for those like when you want to have that quick success with your knitting and feel like really accomplished. They're also really great as somebody who has like curly hair, and sometimes trying to shove all my hair under a hat is just not going to work, and also my hair is pretty warm. So curly, or people who have like natural hairstyles, sometimes having these ear warmers actually fits better. They're able to wear them a lot more easily than they can a hat. So keep that in mind. Okay, a short section dedicated towards like kids and little ones. So if you do want to make some kind of wearable, this is a pattern I just stumbled across that I think is really cute, really fun, but also so smart when it comes to kids' feet. And it is the banana socks. So these are socks, you know, they're inspired by the look of them, and especially the yarn color being yellow, that they look like bananas. But they are designed to, they don't have like a set heel. Instead, they're designed to be flexible so they will grow with the kid's foot. Like, you're going to have more of a leg when their feet are smaller, and there's certainly a certain extent of like needing to get the width correct or close. There's a little bit of flex in the width, but especially the length, they're going to grow with the kid. And especially if you've got little ones that you want to, you know, maybe they really love you knit socks for everybody else and they're feeling left out, but you're lenient about knitting socks and them not fitting, them growing too fast by the time you make them, or, you know, growing out of them too quickly to really appreciate them and get some good wear out of them. And I think this is a really fun pattern, and I think also the kids will think it's cute and fun. Also, little toys. I've got a capybara toy in here, as well as these little cute pocket buddies. These are great ways to use up some scrap yarn, because oftentimes, especially the smaller ones, don't require a whole lot to make them. You do need to have like stuffing and eyes, or like embroidery thread to do eyes, and be mindful, like if you're making it for a baby, what is being used and making sure it's baby safe and friendly. But yeah, just these little cute stuffy things that you can, again, really customize to the kid. There are so many different patterns out there that you can definitely find something that is in the interest of just about any kid out there. And yeah, I know I have not actually knit Kiri any stuffies, but I've made her one little crochet thing, and we've bought a couple, or been gifted a couple of crocheted Anna Marugis, and she loves them. And again, because it is a smaller size project, it's going to be not a whole lot of yarn that you're sitting with. Now these do tend to be a little bit more intricate, so not necessarily beginner friendly. They tend to be a little bit more intermediate, just because there's a lot of shaping that goes into these to get them to look right, and then you have to stuff them and sew them up and all of that. All right, now if you're wanting to make something for people that they just don't really wear knitted things, but you want to make them something, here are a couple of ideas. So first off, cup and can cozies. I've pulled two different patterns. There's the classic can cozy, as well as the base doodle cup cozy. Again, a doodle pattern, so easy to customize. You know, if you've got somebody who loves coffee and is always walking around with a coffee mug, especially the travel mugs, making them a nice little cup cozy that they can have, or the kind that can like buckle over a mug, or like the can cozy, great for, these are also, I feel like, really good for like summer knits, because it's like, oh, you can put your can in it and it keeps it insulated, it keeps it from leaving little water rings on stuff, and it looks nice, and again, easy to customize, and these also don't use a whole lot of yarn, so great for doing some stash busting. And finally, how about some like household accessories? Now I'm not talking about blankets, like that's a lot of yarn to be sitting on you in July. I know I'm currently working on a blanket for my preschooler. But even something like doing pot holders, using some great cotton yarn for that. Definitely want something that's going to be okay to set heavy, hot things on. Again, you can customize it. I did some crocheted like skull pot holders back in the day. I don't even know if I have any photos of those, because they have, I think they have all gone into a scrap pile, because they, I mean, I had them for like 10 years and we were rough on them. But pot holders where you can pick something that's going to go with their kitchen decor, that's going to go with their pots and pans, pick it in their favorite color, but also like maybe a hand towel, you know, something that's nice that they can hang up in their bathroom or kitchen. And again, pick the colors that are going to match with their home decor. Great to use some cotton yarn, so something that's going to be easy to wash and dry, but also isn't going to be super warm to be working with in the middle of a heat wave. So there you go. Those are some of my ideas for some gift knit ideas that you can start now. Get ahead. You can knock out a few of these over the summer and, you know, cross off a bunch of to-dos on your holiday shopping. I would love to know if you have any projects that you think are really great gift knits, especially ones to start in the summer, in the warmer months. Let me know down in the comments what your favorites are. If you enjoyed the video, thank you so much for watching. Please give it a like and subscribe, because I make videos and post them here just about every week about my knitting hobby and the other things in life that get tangled up in it. I think the one that's coming out next week is going to be a fun, like, summer knitting vlog. Yeah, but I like doing these, like, pattern roundups once a month, and I'd love to know what is a, like, pattern roundup category that you would love to see. I've asked this before on my Patreon, and I'm definitely working on something that they suggested. So, speaking of which, thank you so much, patrons. If you want to directly support this channel and get a few extra perks, head on over to our Patreon, and I will see you next time. Bye! Someplace I call